What's up, Kit Kats? I'm Kat, and welcome back to my channel. Today, I am finally sitting down to talk about my opinions on season 5 of The Dragon Prince. I watched the season as soon as it dropped, 5 days before it was supposed to, and I have watched it several times since then, and I have a lot of thoughts, but one thing I will say is that I absolutely adored season 5 of The Dragon Prince. I definitely feel like this is tied with season 3 for my favorite season. It is a definite step up from season 4, and that's coming from someone who actually really liked season 4. I thought that season 4 was a good season. It was a setup season, it did what it was supposed to, and season 5 is that payoff. We're starting to get into the action in season 5, and season 5 is definitely a return to form to the older seasons that are so praised. I feel like a lot of the criticisms that myself as well as other fans had with season 4 were improved upon in season 5. The pacing is a lot better, the animation improved. Honestly, I felt like the animation in season 4 was perfectly fine, but in season 5 they stepped up their game. Just overall, it was just a really amazing season. I loved it. Let's get into spoilers. I absolutely loved everything with Viren's dark magic nightmare. I thought it was really cool seeing him come to terms with everything that he's done and realize that this dark path that he had been on has ultimately led his daughter down the same exact path and possibly going deeper than he ever did. And that was really cool to see. Still don't think he's a good guy, but he is definitely a layered individual for sure. I also really enjoyed seeing Claudia really come into her villain era. You know, she was ready to kill to find out where Erebos' prison was. Like, and girl got her leg cut off for it, you know? She was really scary in that last episode of season 5, and honestly, I love that for her. I'm really excited to see where Claudia goes in future seasons. Is she going to continue down a dark path, or will she be redeemed? Will Terry help? I love Terry. Terry is such a precious little sunshine, and honestly, he deserves better. I'm like, boy, don't put up with this. If you don't agree with this, don't put up with it. But you know, maybe he's the light that she needs. I don't know. Will he be a light for her, or will he finally decide enough is enough and walk away? I don't know. I'm really excited to see where that goes. I loved the Sunfire Elf plot this season. Really well done. Everything with Kim Dale was just, I love her. I really hope that she returns. And just, I love Janai and Amaya. I love them. I loved everything with Akiyu, Tidebound Tina. She was she was very much a Yoda character, and I loved that. I'm really hoping that she will return in later seasons. And I'm also hoping that we see Domina Profundus again, because we saw her at the beginning of the season and then that was it. But I loved her design, and I'm honestly really hoping that maybe, like, for the final battle, all the archdragons come in and help or something like that, and we do see them return, so it's not just a, here they are and now they're gone. Zubeia getting infected was really interesting, and I'm excited to see where that goes. It does seem for the end of season 5 that she is going to be healed by this mushroom mage, so that's gonna be really interesting. He seems like a really interesting character, so it makes me excited to see more of him in season 6. All right, now we're gonna get into my favorite parts of season 5, which is the dragging. I adore the dragging. I loved seeing Ezrin on his mission with Corvus and Soren, and how Soren basically points out how Ezrin isn't having a true childhood. Like, I've seen some people that were like, oh man, the poop joke, at least it didn't go super long this time. But I'm like, you know, the thing is, yes, it was an immature joke, but it made sense for that scene. It's there because Soren is like, dude, you just said duty, you're 12, you're not laughing. You should be laughing at this. You know, you're a kid. You should think that's funny. So I thought that was really cool. Also, you know, Corvus, Soren, and Ezrin coming in on Zubeia to save the day when Amaya, Callum, and Rayla are at the library and they're fighting off the infected banthers. That was really cool. Honestly, that was such a beautiful shot of Zubeia, just like kind of like that slow-mo of like the glass and everything. Such a beautiful shot. Corvus, I love Corvus. I hope we get to see more of him in future seasons. And I hope that Sorvis becomes a thing because I think many of us want Sorvis to be a thing. I love how we're seeing more of the found family dynamic with the dragging. I love when all of them are offering to get their hands cut off and Callum has his little speech where he's like, as long as we love each other, as long as we stand beside each other, you can never control us. And I really think that's something that's going to play in later with Erebos. Just seeing, like, I really feel like Soren has found a little family with Rayla, Ezrin, and Callum, and I love seeing that. And Soren getting to have his moment with Elmer and being like, hey, you don't have to do this. He's mean, he's cruel to you, and he's using like his experience with his own father to relate to Elmer. I thought that was really cool and a really powerful moment. And just seeing, like, boy got punched so much. Him and Callum went through it this season. So let's talk about Callum. So Callum is my favorite character of the show. I really enjoyed getting to see more of his magic this season. We got to see him punch a banther. That was really cool. And he also punched Finnegan. So boy is out here punching banthers and pirates. You really got to see how powerful he has become and also just how confident he has become. In the first 3 seasons, something like riding a horse or riding a shadow paw, you know, would be something that he'd be sliding around, falling off. And you know, this season, you know, he's confidently riding a horse. He confidently takes the reins on the shadow paw. And I don't know, that was just really cool to see that development with him. And also, he connected to the Ocean Arcanum, which was really cool to see. I'm excited to see him connect to more Arcanums because I definitely think that he will. And he really got the crud beat out of him this season. He was basically tortured, and as a last resort to save his friends, he did dark magic again, and that's partly what helped him connect to the Ocean Arcanum. The creators have confirmed that he does not actually have to do dark magic in order to connect to an Arcanum, but it can be related. And in the case of Ocean, it was related by how it's kind of like that realization that there is a darker side to yourself that you may not like, but you may become from time to time. And, you know, it's clearly something that doesn't sit very well with him. And I also think they're at the end of episode 8 when Rayla asks if he is okay and he tells her that he is. Like, you can tell that he is absolutely not okay, but he's also not ready to tell her that he did dark magic again. And I'm really interested to see when he does tell her, which brings me to Rayla. I just always love Rayla. I think that she is so strong, and you know, she's really trying, but she's also, this at the beginning of the season anyways, still kind of sneaking around. And Callum at this point is putting his anger aside and is just, I'm gonna trust you and we can have boundaries and you can come to me when you're ready. And I thought that was a really cool dynamic they had, and I also loved seeing Amaya call Rayla out, and Rayla kind of tried to defend herself, but also Amaya relating to her and being like, you're like me, and, you know, falling in love with Janai made me realize that we're stronger together. And through that, Rayla chooses to approach Callum about the coins and ask him if it's okay if she shares this burden with him. And he's like, yeah, you know, I would do anything for you. And I thought that was a really sweet moment. I am really excited for them to actually have a big feelings time in the future. And I love how Rayla is becoming more open, but at the same time, you see Callum being closed off about, you know, using dark magic. And honestly, in my opinion, at the beginning of season 5, when Rayla goes behind Callum's back and breaks into his office and goes down into the dungeon, and she gets arrested, and Callum is basically like, I trust her. She had a good reason, I'm sure, and she'll tell me when she's ready, you know? He just like fully decides to trust her, even though technically she was breaking his trust at that point. I feel like we're gonna see that same sort of reaction from Rayla when she finally finds out that he did dark magic. And I think that's gonna be a really big moment for the two of them. I really loved both Callum and Rayla this season, and I loved their moments together. I love how they are rebuilding their relationship, how you see how they are becoming best friends again. I feel like they're building a stronger bond than they even had before. And it's also a relationship where I think in a lot of ways, they are both equals now. You know, Callum has grown powerful as a mage, and he is able to protect Rayla as much as she is able to protect him. And I really think that in season 5, Rayla is realizing that. When Callum takes the wind out of the sails of Finnegren's ship, like, Rayla just looks so amazed. She's like, oh my god, you know? He took their wind away. She's like, dude, he has leveled up a lot. I'm really excited to see where they go in the future. I would definitely say that Rayla and Callum were my favorite part of this season. But other little things that I enjoyed, the Baitlings. I love the Baitlings. They're so cute. I think Jellybug is my favorite, but I also really like Hat. I really enjoyed this season, and honestly, I don't think I have really any criticism for this season, honestly. Like, my only kind of gripe was the fact that we didn't get Rayla apologizing, and we didn't get that big feelings talk. When I first watched season 5, I very much was thinking, well, maybe this happened off screen. After watching the season more times and also seeing interviews with the creators and everything, I don't think they've had the discussion at all. I think they have talked, and they've talked about trust and boundaries and everything like that, but they haven't actually sat down to have a conversation where Callum, you know, shares how he felt during that 2 years, and Rayla really goes into why exactly she left and what she went through. I think that conversation is coming, and I am really excited for it. I'm just really excited for season 6. Anyways, those are my rambly thoughts on season 5. I hope that you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to comment down below and tell me what your favorite part of season 5 was. If you liked this video, please feel free to give it a like. And if you're not subscribed but you would like to be, feel free to hit that subscribe button. And of course, ring the bell to be notified every single time I make a video. And until next time, I will catch you later. Bye, meow!